Good morning. Yes, I made it out in the morning again. It's been a while since I've done some morning walks. I'm going to try to get back to doing more of them because lately, late in the day, it's just raining in the evening. And though I can walk in the rain, as people have mentioned in comments, you see this is a dirt road, right? I do have some concrete I can walk on, but it has a lot more cars on it. And the last thing I want to do is be walking down the road and have a car splash water all over me or run into me. So it's kind of made it difficult to get out and walk lately. Not to mention, I've been talking to you about how I've had some issues with whatever's going on, whether it's recovering from the virus or the heat down here in Florida. But I also found out that my vitamin D is a little low and I may be depleted in iodine. So I've been working on these things, trying to address them. I ordered some vitamin D supplement to get started on to see if I can boost that a little bit. And you saw the iodine video I made yesterday. So I'm trying to address these issues. Can't do much about the heat. And really I'm addressing vitamin D right now just by being out here in the sun. Granted, I am wearing a vest, but I'm coming close to the end of 2 miles into this walk. I've already got all my squats in, as you can see here. I'm telling you, squats are so good for your overall mobility. I never would have thought doing plain squats would have such a major effect on my life. And adding the weight vest is just fantastic. I have strength in my knees like I've never seen before. And I'm gonna get to the second mile of this walk, and I'm gonna take off the weight vest so I can really talk to you guys, because right now I'm huffing and puffing and I want to be able to talk clearly. So give me just a moment. Here we go. Go ahead and take this thing off now. Hey, I have mail. I'm gonna stick this in my mailbox. Glad I got a big mailbox. There we go. Get in there. Wow. Oh my God, that's so much easier. Oh, it's amazing how much effect that vest has on you. Man. Ooh, this is going to be much easier on this last mile. You can see if you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's 2.03 miles right now. And man, I feel so much better getting out here and getting this exercise. Yesterday, I was working inside the house all day, trying to get work done. And then, but before, two types of work. The first thing in the morning, I was up at 4:30, started working on video editing and labeling videos. And then at 9 a.m., I was working for my other job and knocked off of that about 5 p.m. and got that video finished up. So it was one heck of a day yesterday. And when the end of the day came, I had no excuse not to go walking, except that I was just beat. And I know that I needed to, and I regretted it. I did, because when I tried to go to sleep last night, I had every bit of need to sleep. My body was tired, I was ready to sleep, but I could not shut down. It took me an extra hour to go to sleep after I had already turned off everything to go to bed. And I don't want to repeat that. As I've talked to you guys before, I think it's real important that we make sure we get that exercise, especially when we wish or don't feel like we need it right now, or we're just too tired or whatever. Those are the best times to do it, because you're going to regret it later. So I'm getting to start off on the day right today, getting my morning walk in. And you know, this is just part of how Lion Diet has helped discipline me compared to my old way of thinking. You know, when I was younger, I like to think I wasn't really a bad guy. I was kind of in the times, growing up in the 80s, you know, where everything was big hair and big glam and big noise, and a lot of lust of the eyes and lust of the flesh going on. And I was all about pleasure seeking, I'll tell you that. Whether it was, I don't want to go into too much detail, but whether it was gambling, women, music, or just participating in the wild side of life. Life in the fast lane, as the Eagles say. I don't think I ever got as bad as they did. But I don't think it's too much of a matter of degree as much as it is how it can derail your entire life, pursuing only the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the details of life. I have found in not only Lion Diet discipline enough to do the diet itself, because it was so easy to get started, but also the discipline to get out here and exercise when I had the energy, and to keep exercising and to keep pressing on. And other areas I'm finding, when I was younger, I used to think of fasting as being something that's kind of not really that important anymore. Maybe it was important in ancient times for a spiritual purpose, but I'm not too big on ritual for my spiritual practice. And I didn't do any fasting as a part of my spiritual side, pushing for it. It was all about health and wanting to see what it was like to put my body through autophagy like that. But I'm going to tell you, it opened my eyes to a spiritual side of it, because fasting really helped me to see the benefit of delaying gratification. The cold, hard look at delayed gratification that you get from a nice long fast really puts things into perspective about what you need and what you don't need in your life, and having the discipline to work on those things. And I know that it's possible, because I didn't think I could ever do a fast like I've done already, and I'm still looking forward to going a full 3 days. As I mentioned in the previous video, last weekend I did a 42-hour fast, water fast. Prior to that, I'd only done a 26-hour fast. And prior to that, I've spent 48 years without doing any fasting, with the exception of maybe doing wilderness survival in Boy Scouts. But that wasn't intentional. And it was horrible. But, yep. Look at this girl. She's always just runs up and down the fence, trying to say hi. I bet she'd like to say hi with them teeth. No, she looks like she's a sweetheart. But, really, I never would have thought so many different things could come from doing a diet like Lion Diet, an elimination diet, which is almost like a fast in and of itself. As far as my body's concerned, in a lot of ways, it is a fast. But discipline is something that's hard to come by if you grew up chasing after those things. And this diet has really helped me to refocus. I talked to a friend of mine yesterday, and I know from talking to him that we all had very different experiences growing up. He's a little younger than I am, but still, those experiences and what he was taught to chase after as opposed to what I was kind of taught to pursue were very, very different indeed. And it's so sad for me, because really I knew the right way to go. I just chose to follow the worldly way to go, and tried to find that pleasure that comes from the things that the world promises pleasure in. Well, I'm going to tell you, I never found that pleasure in those things. I always found death and destruction in my body and in my mind. And now, here with discipline and abstinence from things that I look at and say, yeah, that looks good. That'll be fun to do. That'll be fun to eat. That'll be fun to go do that or be with that person or whatever. Don't fall for those lies. Living a life free from all the distractions of the details of life, something that I learned also from years of Bible doctrine, but never really had instilled until the thing that came with fasting. It's like it branded me with the things that I already knew. And now I find pleasure in the struggle, the difficulty. I used to try to find pleasure in the end result of getting what I wanted. Now I find pleasure in the struggle to do something good. And when I accomplish it, the only problem is it's all over with. I got to find something else to do. But it's easy when you have a lifestyle, or you make a lifestyle around eating the things that are good for your body and doing the things that are good for your body. Because when you do those things, you feel better. You can do more. You can help lift your family, your friends, your community up, because you have the strength and the discipline to do what needs to be done. You can be the one who stands in the gap for your family and friends and community. And that's what we need these days, because we are in a hell of a mess. If you just look around at what's going on in the world, we need some real virtue in the people, and discipline is a great way to start instilling that. Well, I'm thankful to have it, and I want you to have it. So if you said it, screw it. I'm gonna get up and do it. And then get up and do it. And start making a new diet, a new way of living your life with exercise and pushing forward and doing the right things a part of your life. I'll see you next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?